Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Kyle.
And I'm Jess.
Sorry, it's a little laggy, Jay. Maybe if I can make my guy a little smaller. Here, you talk?
Yo, what's good in the hood?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna be a little laggy. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we'll see how it looks. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We are gonna do a tier list, a series of tier lists, hopefully, about the musical,
Concept albums, epic.
Epic. Not to be confused with the movie Epic, or, just the sensation of things being epic. Jess is a fan of this. I'm not. There's some context behind all that. And, like anything, we're going to go in order, go through each of the songs, decide what's an S tier, what's an F tier, So we'll start right at the beginning with The Horse and the Infant.
Oh, yes. Okay. I love this song. I noticed in your notes you did say that you were not a huge fan of it.
Jay, my notes are my notes, okay? You worry about your notes, all right?
Okay.
I'll let people know what I say.
Why don't you talk about it?
Well, I didn't think it was that strong of an intro song myself. It sounded like it was made in GarageBand, which is not an insult that I use lightly. The rest of the songs sound fine. But the intro of this does sound like very... I know someone does a lot of songs in GarageBand. It's very similar to how this started out. If I'm being honest, I think Open Arms would have been a way better song to start with. It's the best song in the whole album.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Open Arms is the best song in the album?
I think Open Arms is the best song in the album. And canonically, it takes place first. So...
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, this takes place after the Trojan Wars concluded.
Open Arms?
Yeah.
Open Arms happens in the very beginning when he's a little child. And the lady sends out the boar. Wait, Open Arms, which one's the one with the girl singer?
Warrior of the Mind.
So, I'm talking about Warrior of the Mind. I misspoke.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think Warrior of the Mind would have been a better opening song.
Okay.
Because, like I said, canonically it takes place first. You got a male and female singer. A big thing against this album is like the first two tracks are boring, stupid, and don't have the rest of the singers in it. It's just him, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this song, Jess?
I do like The Horse and the Infant. I will say that I actually did hear Warrior of the Mind first,
mm-hmm.
and I listened to that a bunch, and then discovered that it was part of an entire album. So that's what got me in. So you are correct. I do agree with Warrior of the Mind being probably the strongest song in the entire album.
Yeah, and you got a male singer, a female singer playing off each other. That's always been the best kind of music.
We'll talk more about it. Well, what I like about The Horse and the Infant
mm-hmm.
Is I like how it kind of starts a little slower and builds up to the emotion, I guess, he's going for in the song. Because you have to think that this is essentially... The song kind of starts when they're in the Trojan horse.
No, I think you gotta think. You gotta think about what kind of society we live in this whole, 5 seconds, get my attention span or I'm gone. Yeah, in a long... If you're gonna sit down...
I think that's why Warrior of the Mind started the fame of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I will say, it did just recently blow up. This has been something that's been in the works for, I believe, about 3 years. I am a newer fan to it. I haven't been there since the beginning.
You've been listening to this fucking album every day for the past 2.5 years. No lie.
They're good songs.
I mean, yeah.
They're great.
And I assume Pulp Fiction's a good movie. Not every day. Anyways, where was I? Oh, this track B song should have been into the flashback between 4 and 5. No, they do a flashback, right? The last song's a flashback as they're entering the cave.
Yes.
That's where this should have been. This should have been the last song in the track 5. I wouldn't have opened with it. Weakest opening. Also, the first song is about the main character killing a kid. Okay?
The second song.
No, this song starts... Who's the infant?
Oh, we're introduced to the infant at the end.
Yeah, don't get... The song is about the main character killing a child. Really stacking the cards against him right out of the gate, if you will. I wrote down here, baby killer doesn't make for the best, most likable protagonist. Thoughts on that statement?
I do agree with you. It is definitely kind of a strike against him right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in the next song,
Mm-hmm.
he does kind of go over the fact that he's very conflicted about this. We'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Well, the thing is, they really pick and choose what they keep.
What's your ranking?
Oh, okay. My ranking for this is B.
B. Okay.
Yeah.
I will put it at a B. That
Okay.
is fine. I was gonna say A, but you know, I'm a little biased. I'm very nice, so I tend to give things higher rankings than normal.
Well, for me, the part that doesn't make sense is like, you know, they're really picking and choosing what canonically applies to this and what doesn't. Like, you know, they're not gonna talk about Zeus fucking animals, are they?
No, there are parts of the actual Greek mythology that don't really make it into this.
I just think child killing could have made it out. I could think that could have didn't need to make it to the second, you know, draft. But we'll move past it.
Yeah.
Next song. Hope you like child killing because that's
all the next one's about.
That's the theme of 40% of these songs we're gonna talk about. What's
Just
the song
a man.
called? Just a man. You know who's not just a man ever? This child, because
Yeah,
our protagonist ended that.
He just drops him off a fucking wall.
All right, so here's what I got. Here's what I wrote. My clever 1-2 punch. It sounds like a love song between this man and this child he's about to kill. This man is sick and this shit is dark.
Okay. I clearly got that he was very torn about this decision.
Okay.
It's was stated already that he's been away for 10 years fighting in a war, and all he wants to do is get home to his wife and son.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
And he's got not just any god, he had Zeus. So the king god.
The god, yeah.
Yeah, the god telling him that, listen, dude, you gotta kill this baby. And he's like, but I don't want to. And God's like, dude, listen, okay? You either kill this baby, or this kid's gonna grow up, find out the truth about his origin, and kill everybody you love.
And has Zeus ever been known for...
I don't know too much more about that. But
Could you imagine if you were a child, and you're looking up, there's a man being like, I'm going to kill you in 2.5 minutes. And you're like, oh my god, what is happening? Oh.
And another part is he does say quite a bit, like, just close your eyes, spare yourself the view. I don't want to hurt you, but I'm just a man.
Listen, close your eyes. The last thing you ever see before you die is me. God might hold it against you. That's the kind of shit serial killers say. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, I love that.
Sorry, she was obsessed with this fucking album. She's like, listen to it. First 2 songs. Just grabbing kids by the legs and smack them against trees.
He dropped the baby off a wall.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a little better.
Anyways.
Yeah, I think this track is an A, but I'm sure you're going to rank it lower.
This is like someone writing a musical about O.J. Simpson and how he's the victim for having to kill Nicole Brown Simpson.
He was acquitted. He was acquitted.
This song is victim blaming, with similar theme. But in all seriousness, Jessica, if I will, you know, put pinky up. It has such similar themes and locations as the first song. It should have been a movement instead of its own track.
Okay. So I guess you're ranking it real low.
Just asking what a movement is.
What's a movement, babe?
Oh,
like a bowel movement?
So ignorant when it comes to music. I can't believe you even asked that. A movement is the song that should... Oh, one sec. Right down here. A movement is a self-contained part of a musical composition or musical form. It's kind of like, you know, Jesus of Suburbia?
Yeah.
How it's a 12-minute song when it's made up of 4, like, small songs?
Okay.
I think this should have been a movement in the first song. Because it's the same location, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, yeah.
Like, if each song's its own thing.
Okay, I don't disagree. It probably is a little too basic to be its own song.
You think so?
I enjoy it still. I like it.
Where'd you put it, JJ?
I said A.
A?
But
well,
again, I ranked, I think, all of them super high.
Which one was this?
This is Just a Man.
I put it at C. What about B?
We can do B. B.
All right. Next we got Full Speed Ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
There's a reason we aren't musical artists.
So, what do you think about Full Speed Ahead, Jay?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It really, it felt more like the establishing song. We're establishing that Odysseus is the captain, Eurylochus is the first mate, we got Polites, who's a dear friend. Odysseus is in charge of 600 men, and they finished a 10-year war. They're trying to get home now.
He's in love with his wife.
Yeah, he loves his wife Penelope and his son.
I didn't have his son. I have Panlip. Penelope I have written here. I don't have a son.
Telemachus.
Not dead little boy. Is his son. That's how
Yeah.
we divided up in the story. This is a really good, solid first song. I thought it should have been Warrior of the Mind, if you want to go canonically. But this really, I don't know how to explain how I feel without just explaining or repeating exactly what Jess did verbatim. She nailed it. It's a perfect opening song for 1,000 reasons. If not for the sheer fact that this is an ensemble, album, and the first two tracks really only have the main guy and characters who kind of aren't really in it, like Zeus and whatever.
Yeah, Zeus doesn't come back until much later in a different album.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool what you said. I noticed this. I don't know. This probably was intentional. But when you watch old-fashioned movies and they guys row in the boats and you got the guy banging the hammer, it's like, oh,
Yes.
I think the background singers were kind of like a play on that. Because I can't remember off the top of my head, but the way the background singers are singing feels very OEO-ish.
Yes, and I think that's kind of where he was going with that, because you want to establish, they're on a boat, they're sailing, so he probably has a good amount of men rowing the boat so they, keep on course.
Hell, even if you only have half the men rowing the boat.
Yeah.
That's 298 men, so I would have gave it an S. I would have put an SS in here, make Hitler proud. But because it's not the opening song, SS soldiers were a thing back in World War II. It's a dad pun. Because it's not the opening song, it lost points, in my opinion. And I would put it at A, where it should have been S. What do you think?
I agree with A. I had it at A.
And this is,
Full Speed Ahead.
Full Speed Ahead. Okay, A. All right, next one. Anything else you want to say about Full Speed Ahead, my love?
Oh, the only other note I have is that the song is clearly illustrating just how much the war has taken out of these men. They're tired, they're hungry, they just want to go home. That's the whole, basis of the song. Right?
Oh, you do mention they're starving, too. Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, just to, reiterate again, you find out stuff in this song you don't find on the other song. You find out that he's a good leader. The birds, Weezer going to have bird soup tonight, He knows that if you follow birds, in the immortal words of the best Star Trek character, oops-a-daisy.
Uh-oh. Surprise guest appearance.
All right, next song is Open Arms.
Open Arms.
I think that it's a new guy singing, eh? We got a new guy singing the main song.
Yeah. Polites sings most of the song. I do have that. I like it because it's very upbeat and fun.
It might be the catchiest of all the songs.
It's probably one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That and Warrior of the Mind are pretty on par. And I have here that I love Polites. I think he's a cutie pie, and I really hope nothing bad happens to him.
Yes, I hope that Zeus looks in his favor too, the way he does on the. At least Zeus is pro-life. I put for Polites. I felt weird about the guy. I said I like him. I'm glad he's there. I'm also glad he dies because his voice is kind of annoying. I think this is like I said earlier, this is the most catchiest song. I'm not saying it's the best song.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't know that though.
At this point. That's right. I'm making educated guesses.
We've listened to all of them, so everyone that's out so far we have.
Yeah, we've listened to all of them.
And over.
I'm glad. I realized his voice was very unique, very interesting. But that was if he was for the entire Sega, I don't think I'd be into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that. He has a unique singing voice.
Segue to another unique singing voice. You know what? It was the worst detriment of this entire fucking album.
The Lotus Eaters.
Is that what you call them? I call them monkey men. I don't know why, but I've decided in my head that they're hanging from trees and they look like the creatures from Labyrinth. They're fucking with the girl in that one terrible scene.
They're called the Lotus Eaters.
Okay.
And I did do a little Googling onto what the lotus fruit was in the terms of this story.
Tell you that, like, oh, the Lotus Eaters, the Lotus controls your mind, and then Cuck Voice is like, well, we'll listen to them anyways. I'm sure they have good advice. And it's like, well, which is it? Are they mind controlled? Are they, like, what does it mean, Jay? What does that even mean?
Okay, so they're not necessarily mind controlled. The lotus fruit kind of makes you content, and it makes you forget your friends, your family, your home, and that's kind of how you're being controlled. It doesn't let you leave the island, but you don't want to leave the island after you eat it.
So it's like peyote. Or not peyote, it's like that stuff they smoke in, like, the China shops. The big pipes. Like, you're just, like, zonked out.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but sure.
Sure, I love it. Yeah, it's like old Greek drugs. It's like when you find out that, like, a bunch of reindeer ate a bunch of, like, poppy seeds or some shit.
Yeah,
know?
yeah, it's some kind of fruit that must have been growing around the Greek Empire at that time. Not something we have a lot of information on, but it was something that was a little interesting, so I thought I'd throw that tidbit in there.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Thanks, Jess. But no, the Muppet motherfuckers, the Lotus guys, they, I get what he was going with that. Misdirect, in my opinion. I mean, you know, make the moves if you want to make them, but that stuff is silly. That's really silly. And it makes the other silly voices sound sillier. Like, you know, later on we hear a Cyclops voice, and, you know, in the same vein as these things, it sounds silly.
Yeah, I won't focus too much on that, but when I heard the Cyclops voice the first time ever, I was not a fan.
Yeah, I must have been eating lotus flowers when I graded this, because I apparently gave it an A. What did you give it, Jay?
I gave it a B.
So, want to go with A or B?
You
Let's
can
go
make
with
the
B.
final. Yeah.
Because I see the other songs up here, and you know what?
I think we've ranked them really high.
Yeah.
Considering the how good the next couple songs are.
All right, one more song to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this song I have the least amount to say about, because, you know, when I don't have anything to complain about, there's not much to say. How do you say this is awesome in so many ways without thesaurus?
Yeah, I think this might be one of the best songs in the entire epic library.
Agreed. Like I said, this should have been track 1. Could have been, you know.
I'm sorry. That was funny.
Thank you. Could have been track 1. Really would have hooked. Like, if you're really, like, track 3 should be track 1. This isn't an opinion. This is fact. Now I'm being biased.
Yeah.
If you would have put this song as track 1, I think you would have got way more fans. This already has a bunch of fans, you know.
I feel like it would have fallen off, though, because you can't start with the best song and then downgrade from there. You got to lead up to a good song, right?
I mean, you know, this isn't the proper platform for this conversation, but if you really want to go there, in my opinion, each of these albums gets financially worse and worse and worse and worse. So that's your mindset.
Oh my goodness. We are going to disagree a lot during these things, because holy moly.
All right, let's, one sec. Let's see what Kyle has to say here. The chorus is the best thing to come out of this Sega. I love that chorus. I like when he says, let's go.
Yeah, let's go!
He's giving me, you know, I'm sure I'm thinking of the wrong character. I was really racking my brain trying to figure out the energy he's bringing. This is why I know. This is how I know it takes place before everything else, because he sounds like Aladdin, or the guy from Mr. Princess Bride from The Princess Bride, like very like cocky without being cocky and arrogant in a fun way. You know, like he's like, hey, we're gonna be best friends. You know, hey.
Yeah, he's very positive and upbeat, and I like that. I that's probably one of my favorite lines in the song is like, he's like, let's do this, you know, goddess and man, the bestest of friends, and she's like, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a cool story. I half expect to see like Jim Cunning chasing him with a cartoonishly huge knife. It's so much fun. That's all I gotta say about that. I gave it an S.
I gave it an S.
All right, let's go.
We agree on some things sometimes.
Oh, one sec.
Uh-oh.
Can't have that.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, let's take a look at it. Is there anything you'd move around, Jay, now looking at it?
You know what? No, I think everything is okay. I really do think that we might have ranked some of these, like, lower class songs a little higher than they should have been.
You think so? Like what? What are you looking at where you're like, I don't know. I'm just a man An open arms might be C's, and then maybe one of these A's should be a B.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up on my phone because you're a little too far away from me.
Okay.
Oh, it's not on the website.
You gotta make it yourself. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why I was, yeah.
That's fine. I fucked it up.
I will say this, and this is where everyone's gonna click off. So I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna keep my ignorant thoughts to myself. Yeah, I like this list. You know, I think we should maybe wait till we do the Cyclops in a week.
Yeah, you know what? We're probably going to end up moving these rankings when we pull up the Cyclops saga and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, I think they're good where they are.
All right, guys, let us know if you enjoyed watching this tier list. Let us know if next time we should do it live, or if you like the little tighter cut one. Mm-hmm. And till next time,
I'm Jess.
And my name is Nobody. 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 It's my eye because I'm a Cyclops.
Spoilers! Spoilers ahead!
Peace. Oh, it wasn't recording. I'm just kidding.
Oh, really? Okay. He got me.
You will not be able to reconnect.